What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Well, in today's video, I want to kind of go over the last 2 years, and what I mean by that is I've had my 93 Africa Twin for 2 years now, and it's been a very enjoyable bike. I have gone about 15,000 and a half miles or 24,000 kilometers, and it's took me to some pretty incredible places. So in this video, I just kind of want to talk about, some of the places that it's taken me, some of the pros about the bike, and a few of the cons about the bike as well. Some of the places that it's been able to take me is, one of the best places I've been able to go to is up in Tennessee, down the Cherry Hollow Skyway. Look at the fog rolling up right there. Man, this is great. And also through the Cherokee National Forest while I was up there. It's one of those with this bike, being a ADV bike, you can actually go ride off-road at any point in time. And so it's, like I said, while I was on the Cherry Hollow Skyway enjoying that ride, I was able to jump off and hit the Cherokee National Forest a little bit and get to some pretty incredible places that are in that forest. So what do you think about that waterfall? Another place it's taken me is also down in Florida to the Key West, Florida, which is, the most southern point of the United States, of the continental United States. And so it was pretty cool to be able to say that I've been at that location. That is a pretty significant deal, especially with, I think in that video I was telling you, with motorcycle riding, going to the extremes of countries is kind of a pretty big deal. So now that I've been to the most southern point of the United States, I got to get to the most northern point, which is up in Alaska. So another place that it took me while I was on the Cherry Hollow Skyway is down the Tail of the Dragon. I was actually on this bike fully loaded, and being able to get through those turns and actually be able to come out of them and not have any problems was pretty cool to say. And while I was there, I also went up into Kentucky. So as you can see, I've been a wide range of the Southeast, and the next year I'm hoping to actually get a little more into some of the more northern part of the United States, but I don't know, only time will tell on what I get to. So some of the pros about the bike, like I was just talking about, is that I can, ride off-road at any point in time. Now it's also one of those where with the 750 cc's, it's able to keep up with highway speeds, which with me living here in East Central Mississippi, I'm mostly on the interstate, or on the highway. And so being able to keep up with interstate speeds, 70, 80 miles an hour, is pretty good, because I'm having to travel a good bit just to even get off-road. Like I said, I'm, 90 miles from any kind of off-roading that is able to do on this bike because of how big it is. I've also enjoyed the fact that it's a very rare bike, and what I mean by that is that there's less than, I think, 500 here in the United States. And so when people hear about that, they kind of want to know a little bit of history about the bike, how I got it to the United States. And so it's a good interaction with people. So to me, that's a pretty good pro in itself. So one of the last pros that I want to talk about is the fact that I can actually work on this bike myself. Like I was just talking about, there's less than 500 of these here in the United States. And so being able to work on this bike myself is pretty key. And the reason why I say that is because I can't take it to Honda and get them to work on it, because they don't have service manuals and parts list for this bike. So being able to work on it myself and keep up and maintain it and keep it running is pretty key. But that kind of rolls into the cons. And like I was just talking about the con, I can't get a lot of the parts here in the United States. There are some parts I can get. You know, I've been able to get some gaskets, and I've been able to get, you know, air filters and stuff like that. But like last year, whenever my pickup coil went out, I wasn't able to order it because it's no longer sold, for one, but they also don't sell them here in the United States for this model, just because there's not a US model that utilizes this part number. And, you know, kind of rolling into the next con is, you know, with it being a 93, even overseas, having to order parts from overseas, I'm already starting to get parts that are no longer available, like I was just talking about with the pickup coil. And so having to kind of find parts that will be interchangeable for this bike is pretty key. And so that's kind of a little bit of, you know, hard work to do in certain circumstances. And there may become a time where I'm not able to get the part at all, and I have to kind of get creative and make my own part. Another one of the big downfalls about the bike is that it's 550 pounds. And to me, that is one of the, I guess you could say, besides the parts, that's the next biggest con about the bike, because I like riding off-road alone. I like kind of riding alone, and so I'm kind of limited to being able to do what I can ride off-road, because I can't do these real small single tracks, because one, the bike is so big trying to get in and out of some of these places, but two, as you remember, whenever I was on DeSoto National Forest, when I dropped the bike, it really wore me out trying to get this bike back up. So, you know, 550 pounds is, you know, really pretty heavy trying to pick up by yourself, but, you know, it is doable. It's just, you know, it kind of wears you out a little bit. But, you know, that's, you know, I kind of want to make this little short video, you know, kind of celebrating 2 years of the bike, and kind of show you so far some of the pros I like about the bike and some of the cons, and also, you know, some of the places that I've been to. And, you know, hopefully in 2024 I can get to a lot more places and, you know, ride a lot more off-road, because, you know, last year I really couldn't. I was wanting to a lot, but, you know, just time and circumstances just didn't allow it. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. And y'all leave me a comment. You know, y'all let me know whether you've enjoyed the type of content that I've given you with this bike, and, you know, have you enjoyed the mechanic work and, you know, the places that I've been. And y'all share it with some of your friends, some people, you know, that may enjoy rare bikes or may be interested in a Honda Africa Twin or a 93 Honda Africa Twin, and, you know, just kind of want to hear a first person's view of some of the pros and cons and some of the places that they've taken these bikes to. So until the next video, always take the center route, and I'll see y'all then.